Tools used: a jack, breaker bar, torque wrench, 17mm 1/2 socket, a holding stud for the wheel, and if you have one, a 1/2 impact gun. First things first, you want to find your jacking points, which are underneath the side of the car. If you look right here, they'll be right here underneath the jacking point. Then you're going to want to lift up the car a tiny bit, but you don't want to remove the tire off the floor because we're going to use it to remove the lug nuts. Okay, so it's a 17mm socket. Now I have a breaker bar here, so if you're on the side of the road, this is how you're going to do it. Make sure the car is not off the ground yet. Go ahead and remove them counterclockwise, all of them. And once you loosen them all up, then at that point you can raise the car up with the tire off the ground. Once you loosen up all of the lug nuts, and now you can take off the rest of the lug nuts and the wheel. If you have one of these ratcheting guns, you don't have to loosen up the lug nuts on the ground because this is powerful enough to remove the wheel. And that's how you remove the wheel. So now we're going to put the tire back on. Now this is going to be in your trunk. A lot of the Mercedes will have this in your trunk kit. And what this is it's a stud that will hold the wheel in place while you put the bolts in, because this is a different style than nut. The stud goes into the wheel. So you put that in, then what you do is you bring the wheel up and you line it up with the stud. You lift it up a little bit. And just slide it on. Now that it's on, lift the car up a tiny bit, push it all the way in, line it up, and you can go ahead and finger put on the studs. Just make sure they're on, and then you could do it by finger if you don't have the gun, obviously, but if you do, just run them in gently, slowly, just to make sure you don't cross thread anything. And then once you have at least one in, you can go ahead and remove the stud. Okay, and then run them all down. And now that's on, you're going to lower the car to where the wheel, the tire touches the ground, just gently. So it's 110 foot-pounds. You tie them in a criss-cross sequence so that the wheel goes on nice and evenly. And then once that's done, you can lower the car completely and you're all done.